Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, coming at you with a live review, a concert review, because I went out to see the boy, Uncle Danny Brown, Detroit rap legend. He came through my neck of the woods on his You Know What I'm Saying tour, and I decided to go out and see him and just see what a new Danny Brown live set has to offer. Because I've seen him twice already, once at South by Southwest shortly after the release of his 30 mixtape, and I saw him once again, maybe around the time that Old was released on a college campus, like in a frat house. It was kind of a crazy set, but both of those instances weren't really a huge, full, like venue-sized set. So I guess this would be the first set I saw from Danny Brown that was on the scale that this one was, because he came out and he played a long time. Now, before I get too deep into this video, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by the good people over at TickPick. They're a ticket marketplace for all live events where smart fans could buy their tickets. There are no hidden fees, so the price that you see is the price that you pay. They also let you know if you're getting a good deal or a bad deal on said tickets with an A+ to an F rating, and you can find a link to their service down there in the description box, and if you use code NEEDLE10 when getting an order of $99 or more, you get $10 off. So there you go. So Danny Brown, Toad's Place. How did this night go? I had a really good time. We had some openers during the night. Z-Loopers, as you may know from the Bruiser Brigade, he came out for a pretty casual set that was full of raw energy, though. Dude is up there with the squeakiest of voices in the Bruiser Brigade, screaming his brains out, going absolutely nuts, really kind of warming the crowd up, which I know for some artists can be a very tough job to do, and Z-Loopers, I think, kind of just soldiered through it like a champ. After that, we had Ash Nico, whose work I have been aware of a little bit up until this point. I've talked about her music in the weekly track roundup and have enjoyed some of her music videos and singles. I love her attitude, love her energy. I think that if she continues to drop hits that go viral on TikTok, if she continues to drop music videos that turn heads, she could very much be the future of weirdo rap. She's on the stage coming through with a really awesome and exciting and catchy blend of pop and hip-hop, and there's something really dark and weird and edgy about it too. Kind of gives me some old school nu metal vibes. There was a Halloween song that also had lots of references to eating ass that reminded me of a classic ICP banger. She just seems to have so many influences coming from so many places, and I don't know, I love it. Sure, occasionally it's a little over the top. It is even a little too edgy at points, but I see very much what she does as a bit of a show, bit of an over-exaggeration just to, grab attention, which is not a bad thing. That's showmanship. And I don't know, I just loved it. I just loved the performance, loved her energy, loved her emphasis on sexual liberation and humor, as well as just female empowerment. So that was a fun portion of the set, and it's awesome to see Danny Brown supporting up-and-comers like her and just kind of taking her out onto the road. And it seemed like she had some pretty passionate fans in the crowd as well. And given what she raps about, given what Danny raps about, given their equally freaky demeanors, I could see how both of them would have kind of a huge crossover audience. So then we come to the Danny set, and dude is a machine. Danny Brown is a machine. I don't know if it's because at this stage in his career, he has been just doing it so long, or he's just functioning off of just this muscle memory, but he is just blazing through all of these tracks, some of which have his fastest flows ever. And I'm just listening to dude. He's not losing volume. He's not losing voice control. It seems like he's barely even taking a breath half the time. He's playing, of course, new tracks from his latest LP, You Know What I'm Saying, but he's playing a lot of older songs like Monopoly, and I've heard Danny play tracks like Monopoly before, but he is just grinding through this song it's just it's second nature, like he could sleep and just rap through this entire track with the intensity that he typically brings to every song. And man, I'm loving that tone of voice, man. He still rocks that weird fucking inflection, and it works so well for him. And I was in the crowd thinking, man, that has to be such a strain on his voice, and he just pushes through it and executes it flawlessly. Like I was saying, the set list was a really awesome mix of old and new songs. Danny Brown, it's amazing that he's been around for so long that he could give you almost a retrospective of everything that he's done up until this point. There was a pretty lengthy portion of the set where he was pulling on tracks from the old XXX era, playing songs like Black Brad Pitt, playing Dope Song, playing also Lie For, and playing a lot of tracks, non-album singles and stuff like that, that had more electronic instrumentation, had more synthetic beats, and all these moments came together in a way where it felt like I wasn't just at a Danny Brown set, but I was at a surreal, evil rave of some sort, because, again, we're talking about an era of Danny's music where he's rapping a lot about Adderall, he's rapping a lot about Molly. Look, let me say, at this point, Danny Brown's Molly rap has probably aged better than literally any other rapper rapping about the very same thing. After this, we suddenly tripped into a handful of tracks from Danny Brown's amazing Atrocity exhibition. Maybe not as many as I would have liked personally, but he played some of the most significant songs off of the record, in my opinion. Really, though, even though he had to kind of cut it short after his verse because obviously Earl and Kendrick aren't there and so on and so forth. We also had him playing When It Rains. He also played Ain't It Funny, which is the most hard-hitting track off of that record, and I'm very happy that he played at least that. And then he kind of closed it up with some instrumentals and tracks that had more of an old school flavor, which of course means that you're hearing a lot of songs from his latest LP. You're hearing Best Life, you're hearing Savage Nomad, you're hearing Three Tears. Overall, I thought it was a good set list, and it went on, in my opinion, for what felt like forever. Dude was playing tracks on tracks on tracks on tracks, and I get that in the live setting, you want to keep everyone hype, you want to keep the energy high. Obviously, there was a huge mosh pit there as well, where people were going insane, because it is a Danny Brown show. You do want to keep the energy high, so I understand the emphasis on the material from the XXX era, because that material is what gets people going the craziest. And if Danny Brown was lazy, or if he didn't care, he could have just left it there, but instead he decided to incorporate more material from other records, maybe not as much as I would have liked, but still was a pretty robust live set. And again, his performance and his execution was great. His showmanship and stage presence was really good too. His interactions with the crowd were great. It was fun to witness, and he had a great energy as well, even if it seemed like, in a way, it was almost easy for him to just do this, second nature at this point, really. And once again, it was cool to walk down memory lane in a way with one of the most eccentric rappers, most eccentric and creative, enigmatic rappers that this decade has had to offer. So again, loved the live set. I would recommend it to anybody who has a chance to go see him on the rest of this You Know What I'm Saying tour. Over here is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Shout out once more down there in the description box to our sponsor for this video, TickPick, and I will see you guys in the next video. Anthony Fantano, Danny Brown, forever.